Elgin Baylor, the Lakers Hall of Fame forward who became one of the NBA's greatest players, displaying acrobatic brilliance that foreshadowed the athleticism of later generations of stars, died on Monday in Los Angeles. He was 86. His death, at a hospital, was announced on Twitter by the Lakers. The team did not specify a cause. In his 14 seasons with the Lakers, first in Minneapolis but mostly in Los Angeles, with another pair of Hall of Famers, Jerry West and Wilt Chamberlain, as teammates, Baylor played with a creative flourish that had never been seen in pro basketball. He was only 6 feet 5 inches, relatively short for a forward even then, but he played above the rim when he soared toward the basket. His ability to twist and turn in midair on his way to the hoop previewed the freewheeling shows put on by stars like Julius Erving, Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan and LeBron James. When Baylor arrived in the N in 1958, an All-American out of Seattle University, the pros usually scored on one-handed set shots or running hooks. Baylor added a new dimension. You could not stop Elgin from driving to the basket, the Hall of Fame guard Oscar Robertson recalled in his autobiography, The Big O, 2010. Adding, "You sure couldn't outjump him, or hang in the air any longer than he did." Elgin, Robertson wrote, was the first and original high flyer. Baylor's sturdy 225-pound frame complemented his finesse. He could muscle his way to the basket, and he followed up his missed shots by maneuvering to score over bigger players. He was also an outstanding rebounder and passer. Baylor was voted to the All-N team for the league's first 50 years. He was a 10-time N first-team All-Star selection and averaged more than 30 points a game for 3 consecutive seasons in the early 1960s. He set a league record by scoring 64 points against the Boston Celtics in November 1959, then scored 71 against the Knicks in November 1960, only to see Chamberlain score 100 points for the Philadelphia Warriors against the Knicks in March 1962. Baylor joined with West and later with Chamberlain to turn the Lakers into a glamour team. He played in 8 N Final Series, but the Lakers lost 7 times to the Celtics in the Bill Russell era and then to the Knicks in a memorable Game 7 at Madison Square Garden in 1970. He was elected to the Basketball Hall of Fame in 1977. But Baylor had little success when he turned to coaching and front office positions. He coached 3 losing teams with the New Orleans Jazz, now the Utah Jazz, in the 1970s and later spent 22 mostly frustrating seasons as the general manager of the Los Angeles Clippers. In the days when the NSTV coverage was limited, Baylor had never viewed a pro game before he played in one. "I had never seen anyone else do my moves," he told Terry Pluto in the N Oral History, Tall Tales, 1992. "It starts with talent, you have to be able to jump. But more than that, things I did were spontaneous.